Historical figure, Trump, Untold Stories. Episode 2, From Queens to Manhattan, a name carved in glass and steel. In the towering skyline of Manhattan, where giants rise and legacies are etched into stone and glass, a young man from Queens set out to make his name echo louder than anyone else's. Donald Trump wasn't content with inheriting his father's business. He wanted to transform it, magnify it, and put his stamp on the city that never sleeps. This was the beginning of an empire, not just of buildings, but of image, spectacle, and unrelenting ambition. Growing up in Queens, Trump had always felt like Manhattan was a different universe, glamorous, magnetic, powerful. From across the East River, he could see the shimmering skyline, a daily reminder that he was on the outside looking in. While other boys dreamed of being astronauts or athletes, Donald dreamed of penthouses, skyscrapers, and his name in lights. He didn't just want success, he wanted the world to know he was successful. He watched his father, Fred Trump, run a tight operation. Fred was a man of quiet strength, building practical homes for middle-income families, avoiding risk, and maintaining a low profile. But Donald was drawn to flash, to dazzle, to prestige. He believed that real power came not from caution, but from spectacle. Where Fred saw numbers, Donald saw headlines. And that made all the difference. After graduating from the prestigious Wharton School of Finance, Trump returned to New York City not to continue Fred Trump's legacy, but to surpass it. Where his father had been disciplined, methodical, and risk-averse, Donald was theatrical, bold, and willing to gamble big. While Fred focused on middle-income housing in Brooklyn and Queens, Donald's eyes were locked on Manhattan, a realm of high-stakes deals, towering luxury, and high-society headlines. To the elder Trump, Manhattan was a dangerous game, but to Donald, it was a golden opportunity. His first major project was the Commodore Hotel. It was dilapidated, ignored, and practically forgotten. But Trump saw more than broken windows. He saw potential and leverage. He maneuvered a complex deal involving tax abatements from the city, a partnership with Hyatt Hotels, and a vision that few believed in. While bankers hesitated and city officials scoffed, Trump persisted. In 1980, the Grand Hyatt opened its doors, gleaming with gold, glass, and a name that would soon become iconic. That moment changed everything. Trump had entered Manhattan's inner circle. But more than that, he had learned a crucial lesson. Success wasn't just about the numbers. It was about the narrative. He began to shape not only real estate deals, but the stories that surrounded them. He courted the press, exaggerated the facts, and built a media persona as carefully as he constructed his buildings. In Trump's world, perception was reality. He didn't just understand architecture, he understood theater. Trump's developments weren't just about function, they were about form, attention, and identity. And nothing embodied this more than Trump Tower. Trump envisioned a skyscraper on Fifth Avenue that would outshine anything his father had ever built. Completed in 1983, Trump Tower was more than steel and glass. It was a statement. With its sleek black glass exterior, cascading waterfalls, Italian marble interiors, and glitzy retail spaces, it redefined luxury in New York. But beyond aesthetics, Trump Tower was designed to center one man, Donald J. Trump. The building wasn't just his residence or headquarters, it was the physical embodiment of his brand, his ambition, and his ego. But this towering success didn't come without battles. Trump faced fierce opposition from city zoning boards, skeptical financiers, and community critics. He was accused of arrogance, manipulation, and ruthless negotiation tactics. Yet every conflict only seemed to elevate him. The headlines, even the negative ones, fed his image. He wasn't just building structures, he was building a legend. Behind the scenes, he micromanaged every detail. He chose the color of the marble, the angle of the mirrors, the lighting of the atrium. Everything had to dazzle. Everything had to scream Trump. His obsession with perfection, or at least the illusion of it, became his hallmark. Employees were expected to maintain appearances. Tenants paid premiums for the brand, and visitors entered expecting to be impressed. As the 80s unfolded, Trump's presence in New York became ubiquitous. He was on magazine covers, TV talk shows, and society pages. He dated supermodels, hosted extravagant galas, and dined with the elite. He became a regular topic in tabloids and newspapers, not just as a businessman, but as a celebrity. He was turning real estate into theater, deals into drama. He became synonymous with an era of excess: champagne fountains, gold-plated interiors, helicopters with his name emblazoned on the side. Trump turned his life into a live show. People either envied him or mocked him, but no one ignored him. That was the Trump formula: provoke, impress, dominate. What set Trump apart was his understanding of attention as a commodity. He knew how to command it, how to manipulate it, and how to monetize it. His name became synonymous with wealth, power, and controversy. To Trump, visibility was influence, and influence was everything. His buildings weren't just made of steel and glass, they were crafted from media narratives, inflated valuations, and sheer bravado. Trump was selling more than square footage. He was selling an identity, a lifestyle, an aspiration, and millions bought into it. In the 80s, Donald Trump had transformed from a local real estate developer into a national figure. He wasn't just building an empire, he was becoming one. His style was bold, brash, and unapologetic. And it worked. Investors lined up, tenants paid premiums for the Trump brand, and the media couldn't look away. He leveraged his fame into books, licensing deals, and branding opportunities far beyond real estate. The Trump name appeared on everything from neckties to bottled water. And while some mocked the overreach, Trump understood what others didn't. Branding was the future. He wasn't selling products, he was selling Trump. Yet even as the towers rose, critics whispered. Some said he was over-leveraged. Others called him a showman, a con artist in an expensive suit. But Trump thrived on friction. In fact, he needed it. It gave him contrast, attention, and a chance to dominate the narrative. Love him or hate him, people were watching, and that was the point. He once said, "Good publicity is preferable to bad." But from a bottom-line perspective, bad publicity is sometimes better than no publicity at all. Controversy, in short, sells. That belief became his guiding principle. Every scandal, every feud, every boast wasn't a detour but a strategy. He also understood timing. Trump knew how to seize a moment, to ride a headline, to pivot when necessary. He read markets the way others read newspapers. When New York real estate slowed, he looked to Atlantic City. When traditional media turned sour, he found new platforms. Adaptability became one of his greatest weapons. At the heart of it all was a driving force that had followed him since childhood: the hunger to win. Not just to succeed, but to conquer, to be undeniable. Trump saw the world as a zero-sum game. If someone else was winning, it meant he wasn't winning enough. Every deal, every headline, every dollar was a scoreboard. And Trump was always keeping score. In this chapter of his life, Donald Trump didn't just walk into Manhattan, he stormed it. And as his name rose higher and shone brighter, so too did his belief that he was destined for more than just buildings. The foundations of power had been laid in glass, steel, and relentless self-promotion. Next episode, we follow Trump as he turns his attention to new battlegrounds: casinos in Atlantic City, airlines in the sky, and football on the field. Because for Donald, Manhattan was just the beginning. The world was next. This has been historical figure Donald Trump, Untold Stories. Subscribe and stay with us as the story of ambition, ego, and empire continues to unfold.